Hey everybody! Today on Dear Claire, we're going to talk about the benefits of native plants and non-native plants. Not the benefits of them, but the downside of them. So grab your tea and cozy up and let's chat. So what are the benefits of native plants? As you probably know if you've traveled at all, which you probably have, there are different zones and different temperatures and climates everywhere you go. So California is drier and hotter. New York is colder and more temperate. The thing that's cool about plants is they're super into their microcosm, and so it really depends on what kind of environment you place them in. They'll be either able to thrive or not. The United States has these zones assigned with numbers so that you know exactly what number your environment is. So zones can be about the lowest temperature that it becomes and also the highest temperature that it would typically be. Because obviously, depending on what kind of plant you are, you might not be able to handle it freezing weather or too hot or too dry. And Oregon is an 8. Usually it's called a temperate 8, which means most anything will grow here, which is great and also terrible because you can plant things like the plant behind me or even this plant in front of me will grow here, even though it's probably not supposed to. Native plants are pretty much just the plants that are native to the area that you're in. So in Oregon, not surprisingly, they're not super flashy plants. They're going to be ferns, hostas maybe, maple trees. They're going to be really the most flashy plant I've ever seen in Oregon is a trillium, which is really lovely, but it's just a tiny little forest flower. The Oregon grape. They're not like showy plants. They're not like this plant, for instance, which comes from the desert and is not native to the Oregon environment. There's other plants, and typically the problem with not having native plants is if you plant a plant that's not a native plant in an area that that is really temperate, then it's going to go crazy and kill all of the native plants. So an example of that is there were these priests that, I think it was in the 1400s, they went to China and they bundled up all of these plants, hundreds of plants, seeds and seedlings and all these beautiful plants. They literally walked across the earth. It took them like 3 months to get to Europe. The only plant that was alive was called an Ailanthus altissima. It's the tree that is the book that A Tree That Grows in Brooklyn is based on. And really the superpower of this tree is it literally grows anywhere and you can't kill it. It grows 6 feet a year. It produces 400,000 seeds a year. And not surprisingly, it's the tree you see all over Oregon, and it's killing all of the native plants because they can't compete. Scotch broom is another one that you'll see on the side of the freeway driving. It's all pretty and yellow in the spring. That also kills all of our native plants. So the reason why you really want to plant native plants and tend to native plants is because it helps with the birds and the bees and all the things that are native to our environment thrive on the plants that we have here. So all of these plants should be easier to grow in our environment, but it depends, of course, on your yard. Your yard might be hot in one spot, or it might be reflecting off of someone's garage, and so it's really hot and sunny and dry, or you might have a spot where the sun never gets to and it's super shady. So if you're planting plants in a yard that you just got, you should really just kind of take stock of it the first year, see what comes up. I've spent and wasted, I've literally lit on fire plenty of money by taking plants that I thought I loved and put them in the wrong spot, and then they just die. You should probably also test your soil, and we've got a great YouTube video about that, so check that out on our channel. There's a lot of reasons to plant native plants, but if you really want a flashy plant like this one or this one, you can put it in a pot and have it inside for you. Or you can plant it outside and then just replace it every frickin' year because it's gonna die. If you get into plants as much as I got into plants when I bought my first house. You're gonna go down a crazy rabbit hole of all the things that you can learn about plants. So there's plenty of resources in Portland for anything you could possibly want. There's a Rose Society, a Rhododendron Society, the Hardy Plant Society. We have a great certification that you can get for birds and bees and fauna called the Backyard Certification. There's a Master Gardener program. I mean, Oregon's an amazing place to learn about plants. So hopefully you'll get to explore it and let me know how it goes. And we'll see you again next time on Dear Claire. If you like this video, click the like button below, and of course subscribe to our channel so you get all the new weekly content. If you have a comment or question, comment below and I'll get to you as soon as I can. I hope you have a great week. Thanks for tuning in.